Quantum of Solace was often seen as the most divisive Bond film. Until No Time to Die, of course. We at Really 007 have had a changing relationship with it. From abject disgust, to mild discontent, to begrudging admiration. And now, for some of us at least, even a deep love and affection. The direction taken in Casino Royale may not have been to our taste, but we thought it might be a one-off to establish this new breed of Bond. Then the news came in that Quantum would follow directly after the previous film, as the first Bond sequel. Production was wrapped up relatively quickly, and despite a writer's strike, it was still out just 2 years after the last movie, the shortest gap since 1999, and ever since. Some felt that this showed in the final product, with the story as rushed as the visuals. One thing was for sure though, director Mark Forster wanted to change up the formula, and right from the bombastic pre-title sequence, we knew we were in for a slick beast. Harder, faster, stronger, better? That opening in Italy showcases some dangerous stunts. This was a Bond who was in the thick of the action, risking his life, and Daniel Craig was fully committed to putting his body on the line for the role. After coolly dispatching the chasing henchman, Bond drives off to Siena to meet M and offload Mr. White. Jennifer and I managed to visit this beautiful medieval city and entered at the same point as Bond in his battered Aston Martin.
So here we are at the end of the pre-title sequence of Quantum of Solace, where Bond is in his completely wrecked Aston Martin, and he drives it up this road here, passes this lovely church, I think it is, which we saw last night, but we actually walked here last night but didn't realise. And then he turns through this tunnel here, or this passage here, and goes down this road. See, these are one of the cantons who were in the Palio as well. Don't know whether these are here all year round. And then if you see Bond's car drove down here, and then the camera pans up, so you can see a great shot of the whole city with the piazza and the tower there. So yeah, not bad.
Bond then travels into a secret passage, where it is revealed that throughout this epic car chase, he has been carrying someone in his boot all along. Master villain, Mr. White. Mark Forster wanted to make the most of the stunning UNESCO World Heritage Site, and the jewel in its crown is the Palio di Siena, a horse race dating back to the 17th century.
It's time to get out.
Here we are in the Piazza del Campo. This is where the famous Palio di Siena race takes place. Jennifer is kindly filming this amazing experience. Here you can see the dirt track, which is going to be cleared fairly soon, we think. We're a day away now from the Palio. Normally there'd be restaurants here close to the brim. You can see those restaurants are just having outdoor seats now, and they've put up these terraces for everybody to sit at before the race. The people who can afford it, €500 at least, can sit up there in these balconies all around the square. So that'll be the race. This absolutely massive shell piazza area will be full of tens of thousands of people. And anyone can go, they can go for free, but you probably have to be there about 3 or 4 hours in advance. And then just stand there. If you need a wee, I don't know what you do, just do it in your pants. And then, the sun, it's been about 35 degrees since we've been in Italy, so it's going to be absolutely nightmare if you have to wait that long. I think you can go in up to an hour before, but then you probably won't get the best view. Having said that, if you can see, the tilt, it's not flat, so there should be good views everywhere. And that's the fountain over there, in the corner there. So yeah, this is where, on the Quantum of Solace, of course, James Bond had a chase, and then it went into another area of the city over there. This is where he comes out after a chase with a defector, an MI6 agent with effects. Anyway, yeah, it's a beautiful city, beautiful medieval place that is probably going on centuries and centuries. unbothered by people, and now James Bond has visited. It's chaos here. We even heard the table next to us where we've just been sitting at a lovely restaurant in a different language just talking about James Bond. So,
Yeah, I think it's because she was saying, you cannot believe who I'm sitting next to. It is Thomas John Pickup. Why am I sounding French? I'm trying to be Italian. But she was saying she's sitting next to Thomas John Pickup from really 007. I'm pretty sure that's what she was saying. No, maybe not.
It's a lovely place. We will aim to come back this evening and then tomorrow again. Because there's been processions of horses and different riders, the jockeys, some of the other people you can hear in the background of the meeting are being received here, the police, the dignitaries and everything. So it's, you can't afford to miss anything. Anyway.
Now, we managed to get a look at the practice session of the Palio on the evening before the main race, and to be honest, we didn't get there in time, so we didn't have a particularly good view. We saw a bit of it on TV here, but you can see just how packed that piazza is. You can just see the riders going by, and yeah, it was still quite the experience, but obviously not the best seats. So there are 2 races every year, the first on the 2nd of July and the second on the 16th of August, which is the one we were here for. We didn't realise it at the time, but the stone track is only covered with a mix of clay and sand in the lead up to the event, so if you go during the rest of the year, you won't see it. The race itself consists of 10 riders who each come from a different region of the city. There are actually 17 of these regions called the Contrada, so that means that 7 have to miss out each time. The Contrada are typically named after animals such as the eagle, caterpillar, snail, tortoise and porcupine, as well as mythical creatures like the unicorn and the she-wolf. The jockeys ride bareback for 3 laps of the track, which actually only takes about 90 seconds to complete, but the track itself is narrow and steep in parts. They can use their whips for their own horse as well as on others, and the winner is the horse. That means even if the rider falls off, which tends to happen a lot at the Palio, that Contrada is victorious. Now, as you can imagine, the race itself is very dangerous, and there have been many horse deaths over the years, so protests are common, despite safety measures being much improved since the 90s. The big scene that features the Palio in Quantum of Solace is right at the start of the film, after the pumping song Another Way to Die by Jack Black and Alicia Keys. So Bond is with M in a secret location that turns out to be below the Piazza del Campo. Director Mark Forster did something very different by interspersing shots of a real Palio, filmed earlier, with Mr. White's interrogation. He paints a pretty scary picture of his organisation.
You really don't know anything about us. It's so amusing because we are on the other side thinking, oh, the MI6, the CIA, they're looking over our shoulders, they're listening to our conversations, and the truth is you don't even know we exist.
It's then revealed that Quantum have even managed to penetrate MI6, with Agent Mitchell turning out to be a mole.
The first thing you should know about us is that we have people everywhere. Am I right?
A brilliant chase then ensues underground before Bond and Mitchell emerge up to the piazza itself. I wasn't particularly keen on this scene the first time I saw it at the cinema because it was quite confusing and a bit too different for me perhaps, because you've got 2 clearly separate scenes going on which jar in the first sense, but if you look at it differently, you've got one thing which is a massive chase underground between Bond and Mitchell, and then on the surface you've got an even bigger chase of the actual Palio itself. Mark Forster and his sound designers really capture the volume of the Palio. You can really sense how massive this event is, with the sound of the hooves circling the course, the crowd getting absolutely wild, and of course they even run on to celebrate the finale and greet the winning rider. I searched long and hard for this passage, but I don't even know that it exists. So I think it works really well, and yes, although it was very unlikely that Bond would emerge during that, as I say, 90 seconds of a race in between, 4 hours of build-up. Who cares about stuff like that? Anyway, this is a class chase, and I couldn't help but pose for shots, even though I was actually going the route of the horses, not Bond.
So after Bond has been chased out of the piazza, he runs, which would be through behind here, he runs across here, and then these are the rooftops where they have that amazing chase with Mitchell. Can't be bothered quite going to each and every one because I don't really know where they are. But you can see on those old ancient roofs, it's quite controversial the fact that we managed to film there, but we did. And it's a really good chase at the start of the film. It's a really good chase sequence. So check that out. But we were here actually yesterday when we were queuing for the Palio. Didn't even realise that it was the back end of the entrance, so round here, you'll be able to see the tower here. So that's the back of the piazza where we entered yesterday. So it's actually, in terms of locations, it holds up that he would go out that way and then would chase over here. Anyway, we came back the next morning to see more of the piazza. Good morning everyone, here we are at the square, Piazza del Campo, where later this evening we'll be seeing the Pièce de Résistance, the twice annual event. This one is the second one of the summer, on the 16th of August. Pretty much prestigious, historic, the pride of the whole of Siena tonight. There's 12 different districts and they're all going at it. Last night we managed to see the practice run, which was probably a bit of a damp squib, but it gave you an idea of how this thing goes. So you can see now where we had our lovely lunch yesterday, all this area's been cleared so the track's been widened for the horses to go to. And this is where everyone will be able to sit if you've managed to get some kind of ticket in the balconies. We did actually see that.
That's the wine shop.
There's a winery there where you can actually sample. That seemed like a bit of a cheat, didn't it? I'm sure you'll have to pay for that on the night. But we're told the procession's going to start around 3 o'clock from the church, where there's like blessings for each of the tribes, as it were, and then they'll all process into this main square. We'll have the Palio di Siena. So yeah, this is going into the main area where all the fans were. The tens of thousands were there just for the practice. It was packed yesterday. Couldn't even get anywhere near it, so we had to look from outside. People will be camping here now from about 3:30. So that's nearly 4 hours in advance. Believe you me, it's about 35 degrees again today, so it's going to be pretty difficult for them.
Yeah, there are already some little keen campers on the outskirts, which I'm just highlighting on this video. Yeah. Clearly we're not going to be doing that.
We're not committed enough, unfortunately.
It's not so much that, it's really me. I'm absolutely not going to be doing it, so Tom's going to miss out, unfortunately.
This is the fountain, which will be even more tantalising for those having to wait. But yeah, a beautiful historic city. And one, of course, which is now famous for James Bond as well.
Sky is clear, sun is out.
Yeah, they did say if it was too dry, the course, then it would have to be cancelled, postponed. Or if there was some kind of thunderstorm. We haven't had a thunderstorm since we were here. We did have one in Florence, but it never reached us. But even though it was only lasted about half an hour, so yeah, looking good for tonight. We'll be back later.
Bye.
The race is preceded by a spectacular pageant all over the city for the different contrada, and they have the sound of the March of the Palio going on. We were very privileged to see one of them which was for the Drago Contrada, which is the northwest of the Piazza del Campo. And traditionally, those residents there were bankers, and some of them did look like them, actually. But yeah, their symbol is, of course, a flying golden dragon carrying a banner with the letter U. And they have that gorgeous sort of Portuguese colours of maroon and green, and they've got the yellow trim on it as well. They've been quite successful recently. In the last 10 years, they have won it 3 times. Just look at some of these mad things that were going on. No idea who these people are, but I think they presume they've just got normal jobs day to day. But then the whole city just closes down for the Palio, and they have these incredible outfits. I'm sure some of these are wigs, but they must be so hot. Like we say, it's mid-30s here. It's over 90 degrees Fahrenheit. They must be absolutely baking these costumes. This was class. It was like some sort of ritual where they were using the flags, chucking them up in the air, stretching in their lovely tunics and doing some bizarre jumping over each other. Absolutely love it. We were told by the policeman that there was no more space to get into the piazza, so we had to keep walking round and round until we found a massive queue into the entrance. But thankfully, they did let us in. So we're tantalisingly close to getting into this thing. We made absolutely no effort, we just turned up, told to go to this random place. Thought that we wouldn't get in, but we're nearly there now.
How are you feeling, Jennifer?
Hot. I'm like a sardine.
If you look around, there's absolutely thousands of people still trying to get in. Just managed to get in. I don't know how we've done it, but here we go. Amazing procession. So all the different teams are going to come in now.
But then, disaster struck.
Unbelievably, it started raining. You can see here we're soaked through. So, see, other sensible people have brought their anoraks, coats, and everything. Yeah.
We're just going to be a bit wet. Oh, you can hear them.
Is that the thunder? Oh
Yeah.
dear. Well, the race might be off if it's too wet. So, here it is. Fairly lucky to get in, and fairly unlucky that it's raining.
No, I think it'll be fine.
So we're back on, I think. About 10 minutes of rain. Still pretty dark, the clouds. Let's hope now.
At one stage, everybody came back out, but unfortunately it started raining again. The green flag went up and the race was off. But there were some people who were still trying to make the most out of it and be a little bit positive.
Well, that green flag, I think, means that it's off. Come again next year. So, waited for about an hour or so. And
More than an hour.
there's been a lot of rain, but only in about 15-minute period. But I think they needed to make a decision before 6 p.m. where they shut the gates and don't let anybody out until the end of the race. But
And just behind Tom, there's that green flag, which moments ago somebody kindly erected, which basically means the race is off. So, better luck next year.
I see everyone's walking on the actual track itself, so that means that's definitely...
Just rude.
What a joke.
And Tom's here in his lovely lemon capri pants, his gorgeous shirt, bit of chest showing, courtesy of me, looking extraordinarily handsome. And now we have no alternative but to go to a nice restaurant and get pissed early. So, I mean, we would have both rather seen the horse race, but so sad. Once in a lifetime. We'll come back next year, Tom. Bye.
It absolutely chucked it down as we were leaving. You can see here just how soaked we were, my word. Anyway, after a quick shower and change, we were back at it on the piazza at night.
Yeah, we've had a brilliant day despite the weather.
Yeah.
Ruining it for about 10 minutes.
No,
about half an hour.
I actually found it hilarious, and when the rain started, I was like having a really good time. We played some music, on our own. Tom put some music on by Boyz II Men, which is one of our mutual favourite tunes. So we had a little bop in this very sort of, what do I call it?
Piazza.
The piazza. And then the rain properly came down. The green flag was erected. That indicated that the race was off. And then it absolutely pissed it down. Beep. The heavens opened, and we had to be helped out of the piazza because it was like uphill.
It's over there, wasn't it? In that corner.
Hilariously, we were both wet through, and Tom was like, "Why are you laughing? You're the only person laughing." But honestly, I found it the most funny thing. And also, I got helped by like 6 really sexy Italian policemen up the hill. Not because I needed 6 at one time because I'm that heavy, but because they were like, you know, aligned along the way. So that's my excuse. But it was really, really good fun.
Yeah, it's so muddy getting back up there that they had people helping pull you up.
Yeah, it was really
But
good.
my lovely yellow trousers are ruined. They will need a dry clean.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so here where we are, this is the sort of mini stadium. It surrounds the grandstand sort of thing. And that is the actual track itself, and it looks alright now, doesn't it? But there's no way it could have gone ahead.
No.
And now behind us we're in some sort of, turned to some kind of super club. So yeah, we'll have another one here probably. So it's been a great time here.
Hi, Rob!
The place just turned into some kind of R&B mecca in the evening, which we loved. And it's so surreal to think that we're actually stood dancing on the place where the horses would have raced today. Now, the rules of the Palio di Siena states that if the first race is postponed for weather or whatever reasons, they have 2 more goes to try and get it done, and those have to take place on the next 2 days if the weather permits. Unfortunately, we were well on our way back to England on the second attempt, but fortunately the weather did hold up this time and the Palio took place, and the winners were the Contrada of Lupa, and that is the she-wolf. So congratulations to them on an amazing win. Now, whatever you think about Quantum of Solace, and it does divide opinion between Bond fans, this finale to the Siena sequence is just spectacular. The way Bond falls through the roof with Mitchell, and then there is a mad dash to try and get the gun in time, is just Bond perfection. We absolutely love it. And the way it's filmed is superb. Maybe it wasn't all done in Siena, but we have to say Siena is massively recommended to Bond fans and non-Bond fans. Do try and go when it's the Palio in either July or August, and hopefully you'll be a bit luckier than we were in terms of the weather, but it is one not to be missed, and we can't wait to go back. So, signing off from Italy, it is really 007. What a film.